So here comes Keerthi Vasan, and he has been my favorite student till date. The reason is, if you will see his handwriting, anybody will give mark for that. What a, matlab, it's just unimaginable. And from the very first day, despite he being engineer, but his political science answers have been the best. We had preserved those answers to let others understand, and it feels so good that even after so many years, like he cleared in 2018 and he took time to come here. Today is also a special day for him, as he will be again facilitated with the award for best panchayat in Ganjam. And earlier also in 2023, he got President Award for best district panchayat. In 2025, he got PM Award for excellence in public administration. Okay. So, would you like to share some words? Will not take much time. He has a function, has to go for that function. This is political science class.
Foundation.
Yeah.
Very good afternoon to all of you. So glad to be here. Lot of nostalgia coming back to the space after so many years. So very few basic things that I would like to share with all of you. Keep your preparation structured. Right from day one, you are here with a particular bent of mind. You are here for a particular purpose. And the classrooms, the foundation course, be it GS, be it for the optionals and everything else. So they are going to give you they're going to show you a path which you'll have to follow. But you have to walk the talk. So unless and until you have that drive to pursue, or you have a very clear goal that you wish to achieve, it is going to be very difficult. So you are at the right place. You have come here at the right moment, and I'm sure all of you would be giving your 100% efforts towards what your dreams are. So irrespective of the competition, you focus on the process and give your 100% towards it. I'm definitely sure that all of you would be coming out with flying colors. So I would not like to talk much from my side. If we have any specific questions, ma'am, we can take
If
from them.
anybody wants
Maybe
to
4 to 5 questions, something that you would like to ask. Because I'm way out of touch in terms of PSIR per se, because it's been almost 8-9 years now. But otherwise, overall preparation strategy, or how to, present answers, how to approach prelims, and how to approach the personality test and all that. If you have any questions, we can take it.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
आंसर्स को कैसे फॉर्म किया जाए?
How to frame answer.
Right.
मतलब प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है? मैं पहले प्रॉब्लम बोल दूं एक बार. तो मैम हम कभी-कभी एरो ड्रॉप करके लिखते हुए जाते हैं.
Right.
समटाइम उसको लैंग्वेज में लाना थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है. मेरे लिए तो होता है.
So in terms of both GS and political science, your answers should, rather than showing your conceptual depth, it should show your clarity of thought, like how good clarity you have on the particular topic that you're approaching, right? So it should have a very good introduction which is very catchy, and you dive right into whatever the question is expecting out of you, and then your flow of answer, how you are structuring it, is very important. You should also, once you start answer writing, in the initial days, what I used to do, I used to write answers like assignments. I used to take PYQs or some model questions, and I used to write them as assignments, refer the material, go through it. I would take some time. I would even take half an hour to write a single answer. But with practice, you keep writing this, and once you start writing, you would have some kind of a realization. When you approach a particular question, you would realize that if I had known this particular data or this particular information here that would have helped me structure this answer better. So that realization comes only when you start your answer writing practice. So for that, again, you go back to your PYQs, whatever ma'am is suggesting in the classes. There are some model answers that ma'am would be prescribing you during the classes. So all these things would definitely help. Also go through the model answer sheets or answer sheets of previous year toppers, which must be available online, which are plentifully available. You just go through that to get a rough idea of what is what. But there is generally an inertia towards answer writing. People feel that, once I gain sufficient knowledge, I will start answer writing. I will do my test series after prelims. Between prelims and mains, I will do my test series. There is no need to have any kind of such inertia. You start even today. Right now, we are completing some topic. Go back, take out some previous year questions, and try to write your answer based on whatever you have studied. And I believe your mentors here, ma'am, would also be able to go through your answers and give you specific feedback, which would help you improve.
Good
Thank you, sir.
afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, what was your approach to PSIR and current affairs, and what extra input we can put into that?
So for PSIR, for the static part, I was mostly dependent on the class notes which ma'am had given us, and ma'am would also suggest specific readings from let's say standard materials. Let's say be it OP Goba or any other standard material, some specific readings would help for different topics. And current affairs, definitely you would have to do a lot of value addition to your answers. Let's say even in 2B and 1B also, bringing in a lot of current affairs generally helps. And also try to do a lot of, you would definitely be studying about a lot of thinkers. So what I used to do, I used to mention about few thinkers from 1A while writing answers in 1B. Some thinkers from some concepts of 2A in 2B. This interlinking between papers also helps, so that the answers that you frame should not look monotonous, because most likely whoever is going to appear in political science would have taken the same foundation course, they would have done the same crash course, but how is your answer going to stand apart from the rest? So there is some X factor that you will have to add into your answer, which would personalize it more and would make the examiner feel that there is something extra that this candidate has put in. So that thing comes with value addition through reading extra materials or updating your current affairs portion while you cover your current affairs. Yeah.
प्रॉब्लम सर कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन सर मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है नॉट ओनली PSIR इंटायर जर्नी ऑफ UPSC हमें क्या ऐसा ध्यान में रखना चाहिए जो डेली हमें फेस करना पड़े और डेली हम इस चैलेंजेस को किस तरह से ओवरकम करते हुए जाए इस जर्नी में, तो क्या ऐसी चीजें हैं जो हमें ध्यान में रखनी चाहिए?
Yes.
और एक क्वेश्चन है
Yes, please.
कि इंटरव्यू के कुछ 2-3 सवाल हमें बताएं
जी,
क्या
जी।
पूछा गया था?
Yes, ma'am, I remember a few questions. So firstly, regarding the journey, so as I mentioned earlier, you focus on the entire process in its entirety. Don't think of, let's say you do some mock test and you are scoring very low. It should not break your determination. So the one who succeeds is the one who knows how to get back from small failures, so that every single failure is definitely teaching you something. कुछ ना कुछ नया आपको वो failure सिखाएगा. So keep that in mind and always focus on the bigger picture. The bigger picture ahead of you is for you to become an IAS officer or IPS officer or whatever you anticipate to be. And some very small things, definitely most of you must also be doing. Keep reiterating that thought in your mind. Let's say while writing your name, you write that so and so IAS, so and so IPS. The very small things might look childish, but these things have some kind of a reiteration when you focus on your study, and have some motivational quotes stuck across your study desk, so that you keep you don't lose track and keep focusing on what you are here for. Second thing regarding the interview, I had mentioned watching English web series as one of my hobbies. So they asked me which web series I watch. I said those days we used to watch Game of Thrones and other web series. So one of the panelists, she asked me whom the final season was yet to come. So she asked me, whom would you like to see on the Iron Throne? So this was, so it was a very comfortable conversation that we were having. And otherwise also I am, there were a lot of questions from Tamil Nadu, my hometown. My parents are into, silk saree weaving. So they asked me about silk and what the entire process is about, how the weaving process happens, what is the economics behind that. It is mostly, centered around your detailed application form, which in which you would be giving your details, and some current affairs from here and there. Even they would definitely ask something from that day's current affairs. You would definitely be reading that day's newspaper and going. So it is more of a conversation, and it rightly tests your personality. It doesn't test your knowledge because most of it has already been checked through this entire process. They see how how a strong personality yours is, and whether you are able to manage that stress at that point of time. And they even asked me, the chairman was even kind enough to ask me what my plans were after this interview. I told them, sir, my parents are waiting outside. I would take them for some, I would take them to some good place for lunch. And then he suggested some places also. You take them here, they serve good food and all that. It was overall a very nice experience for me. Thank you. Some 1 or 2 questions. And
Sir, according to you,
right. So you should have your own personalized timetable. Let's say at least for the next 2 to 3 months, you should have a micro plan of what you're going to do when. And when you're attending the foundation courses, I think most of your time would go into that. Let's say 2.5, 3 hours here and another 2.5 hours for GS. There is around 5 to 6 hours going into this. And then in the initial days, I used to read newspapers for 3 hours. I don't know why. As to go through every single line. It is the process that everyone would follow. So once you get a knack of what to see in the newspaper, then you would be able to cover the newspaper, let's say, in 20 to 30 minutes. So till then, you would be spending some significant time on that also. And let's say the classroom, maybe for political science, you would need specific support from classes. Rather, there are some other GS topics which you can cover on your own. Let's say history, geography, a basic reading of NCRTs and some standard materials. You can do it on your own also. You need not wait for the classes to complete, because the classes would go on for 10 to 12 months. You cannot afford to complete your syllabus by then. So you should have completed your syllabus, let's say, by end of this year. So by November, December, your GS should be complete, and in the meantime, you should start answer writing practices also for both GS and PSIR. At least 90 to 100 days before prelims, it has to be totally prelims oriented, doing extensive mock tests. I would recommend at least 60 to 70 mock tests for prelims, so that you understand what strategy you'll have to follow during prelims. Because the question paper, you must have all seen, the recent one must have been shocking for most of you. But again, if you go into the details, it was not tough per se. The questions were lengthy and it made you think analytically. But I think someone with a very calm mind would be able to answer most of the questions, because they have been asking from the portions that most of you would have covered, at least 50 to 60 questions. So that ways, every year the prelims pattern is also changing. So you should have some kind of a strategy which does not sweep you off your feet when you go and sit there. So you should have a calm mind while approaching questions. So for that, your mock test would definitely help. So your planning should be very practical. Don't be very ambitious in saying I would cover entire history in the next 3 days. It doesn't work. You should know what is the rate at which you read. Let's say the first reading would take time. You would be covering, let's say, 20 pages, 30 pages per hour. So accordingly, you'll have to plan how many hours it would take for you to complete a particular book. When it comes to revision cycles, you would be able to cover it quicker. But for the first reading, it may take time. It would need more, patience to cover the subject. So do a practical planning and stick to that. Right. Maybe one last question.
Congratulations, sir.
Thanks.
Sir, how to connect GS2 with PSIR, or should we connect or should we not connect?
Yeah, definitely. See, your GS2, and see, one of the reasons why I chose PSIR was because of its huge overlap in most of the GS subjects, and I also used to apply my PSIR knowledge in the essays, in the ethics paper, in GS2 everywhere. So there is very huge overlap, but again, don't become more academic while approaching GS. So the name itself suggests it's general. You have to keep it a bit generalistic. You can use your knowledge of PSIR there, but your 1B is has a very huge overlap with GS2, and GS2 also has other subtopics which may not be covered in your PSIR. So you will have to pick and choose. You need not mention thinkers or some specific concepts of political science there, which might not be necessary there. So we'll have to be careful while doing that. You can use that. You can do that. Let me know.
So thank you, Keerthi, for enlightening our students. And you all should start imagining, not just clearing, getting the awards also, because you have to keep on moving. And we wish you very good for many more awards, and you become secretary as early as possible. Fine. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.